The Fable Nest.
Long ago, in a peaceful riverside village, there lived an old woman whom everyone lovingly called Granny. One day, a rich traveler gave Granny a baby elephant to care for. The tiny elephant had soft black skin, floppy ears, and curious little eyes. Granny cared for the little elephant like her own child, feeding him sweet fruits and bathing him in the river every day. And every night, she sang softly while the baby elephant slept peacefully beside her home. As the years passed, the little elephant grew bigger and stronger. The village children loved him dearly and gave him a special name, Blackie. Every day, children gathered around him laughing and playing. "Blackie, give us a swing!" they shouted excitedly. Blackie gently lifted the children high into the air with his trunk, before carefully placing them safely back onto the ground. Sometimes he carried them through the village while they laughed with joy. Blackie spent his days eating, splashing in the river, and resting peacefully beneath shady trees. And Granny loved him more than anything in the world. But as the years passed, Granny slowly grew older and weaker. Her steps became slower, and even simple work left her tired. One evening, Blackie watched Granny struggling to carry a heavy basket of firewood home. Blackie felt sad. "Granny cared for me when I was small," he thought. "Now I am strong. I should help her." The next morning, before sunrise, Blackie quietly left the village and walked towards the riverbank. There he found several heavily loaded wagons stuck in the muddy water. The tired oxen could not pull the wagons free, no matter how hard they tried. The merchants shouted in frustration as the wagon wheels sank deeper into the mud. When one of the merchants saw Blackie standing nearby, his face brightened with hope. "Who owns this elephant?" the merchant asked. A village boy answered proudly, "That is Granny's Blackie." The merchant smiled. "If this elephant helps pull the wagons across the river, I will pay 2 silver coins for each wagon." Blackie happily stepped into the river. With his great strength, he pulled the first heavy wagon safely across the water. Then Blackie pulled another wagon and another. The amazed merchants could hardly believe their eyes. By evening, all the wagons had crossed the river safely. Then the merchant counted the payment, but instead of giving 2 silver coins for each wagon, he gave only 1. Blackie looked carefully at the small pile of coins. Then he stood firmly in the middle of the road and refused to move. The merchants pushed and shouted, but Blackie would not take a single step. At last, the embarrassed merchant realized his mistake. He quickly counted the missing silver coins and placed them into a cloth bag tied around Blackie's neck. Only then did Blackie step aside. Proud and happy, Blackie began walking home beneath the golden evening sky. Back in the village, the children had been searching everywhere for him. As the sun began to set, they suddenly heard heavy footsteps approaching the road. "Blackie is coming back!" the children shouted excitedly. They ran toward him happily. But Blackie did not stop to play. He walked straight to Granny's house. "Blackie!" Granny cried with relief. "Where have you been all day?" Then she noticed the heavy cloth bag hanging around his neck. Carefully, she opened it. Inside were shining silver coins. Blackie gently touched Granny's shoulder with his trunk. At that moment, Granny understood everything. Tears filled her eyes. "Oh, Blackie," she whispered softly, "you work so hard just to help me." And from that day forward, Blackie helped Granny with all the heavy work while she rested peacefully beside him. A truly kind heart never forgets those who once cared for it.